Hey, this is Zach with OBB, and you're listening to KZOW 91.9
It all started when you wore my sweater.
Active Radio.
We're sitting down here with Zach Oswald from OBB. Zach, why don't you tell me a little bit about the group? How'd you guys get started?
Yeah, man. Well, we're three brothers from Atlanta, Georgia. So we all grew up interested in music, playing piano, and kind of then branching off doing our own different thing. And it was, I guess, man, like 9 years ago or so, we signed up for just a battle of the bands in our city, our hometown of Norcross, Georgia. And we did this battle of the bands. It went really well. We didn't win, but we came in second place, and we felt really good about it. Like, that was our first time really playing together as a band live, and so it felt really good. And we've been playing together ever since then.
Awesome. So the name OBB, where did that come from?
Well, it actually started off as the Oswald Brothers Band. Like, that was our band name. We always used to just call ourselves the Oswald Brothers. But anytime we'd go and do shows, people would always end up shortening it to OBB, and like that's just what everybody called us. And we were like, you know what? If everybody's just going to go ahead and call us OBB, we might as well make the name OBB. So when we signed our record deal 4 years ago, they were like, hey, what do you guys, are you going to keep the name? Are you going to change the name? We were like, we're going to go ahead, we're going to change it to OBB because that's what everybody calls us. So that's where we got the name.
Just a coincidence of people just shortening it up. That's funny. All right, so who do you think you guys model your sound after the most?
Ooh, modeling our sound after. Well, definitely love a lot of like newer bands, DNCE. Love those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Also, though, I feel like we've always kind of stuck around like One Republic and Coldplay. They've been like some of our biggest inspirations, I would say. Also, the Police. Huge fans of those guys. And for me, one of my favorite all-time singers would be Peter Gabriel, no doubt. So, yeah, those would be some of my influences for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about your new track then. So Sweater was recently featured on New Music Friday on Spotify. Where were you, and what was your immediate reaction?
That's a good question. We were actually out on tour. We had a date that Friday, and so we woke up and I heard that it was on the Spotify playlist. So we all freaked out and I jumped on. I grabbed my phone, jumped on a Spotify, and started listening to the playlist. And I was like, I just want to see where we are. And we were like pretty high up there. I think like number 16. So that was pretty awesome. And so I shuffled the playlist all day, listened to everybody else that was on that with us, and that was my first reaction. I was like, oh man, I was pretty stoked about it. So
awesome. So what has the fan reaction been since being featured on this playlist?
The fan reaction's been great. It's been awesome. We've been getting a lot of new fans. A lot of people have been reaching out to us saying, hey, I dig the song, which is great. We wrote the song this past winter, and because it was kind of like just in that time, like it was cold, and we were doing some dates up in the Northeast, and we were just thinking back to kind of like, our younger days, and kind of just that feeling you get, when like your girl wears your sweater or whatever, and and so it's, we were kind of thinking back to that, and so it's cool to see it like, us writing the song and then producing it, getting it out, and then just seeing the reaction from people has been awesome.
All right, that's awesome. So you guys are touring right now, like you said. What are some of the cities that we can see you guys within like the next few months? Give me some highlights.
Yeah, well, as of right now, we're out west. We're doing a West Coast run here for a bit. We're in Salt Lake City tonight. We're heading over to back to California here in a bit. Then we're going to go up to Washington State. We got a couple of dates in Washington, and then that's going to be the end of that run. So we've got like 5 more dates out west, and then we're heading back east. We got a little bit of time off, and then the next show is going to be in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It's a New Year's like big party thing, so everybody's going to be there for New Year's, and we'll be at that.
Awesome. Sounds fun. Well, Zach, thank you for joining us on the show. I can't wait to hear more and more music coming up from you guys. I'm sure I'm going to see you in the top 40 one day.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
That was Zach Oswald from OBB joining us here on KZOW 91.9 Active Radio.
Hey, this is Zach with OBB, and you're listening to KZOW 91.9
It all started when you wore my sweater.
Active Radio.